This is exactly what Heat fans wanted to see. FIBA basketball is going on, and 3 Miami Heat players just gave us monster performances to give us something to really think about going into this NBA season. I'm here to break down these major performances from Simon Fontecchio, Nikola Jovic, and the newest Miami Heat member in Norman Powell. We'll break down those performances and how it looks like this Miami Heat team is going to be very, very good this up-and-coming NBA season. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember, scroll down and click the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything Miami Heat, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys tremendously for everything. But now let's get to it and break down major FIBA performances for this Miami Heat organization. Now, we're first going to start with this tweet by Brady Hawk on Twitter. If you don't know who he is and you are a fan of Miami Heat basketball, please go give him a follow. He is very, very good at what he does. And that's not just covering Miami Heat basketball in specific, but breaking down schematically what is going on the court for this Miami Heat team. He is a very good basketball mind, so credit where it's due. Go follow him if you'd like to. Now, he goes on the tweet. Miami Heat FIBA recap today. Norman Powell, 34 points on 53% shooting. Nikola Jovic, 9 points, 5 boards on 2 of 3 from deep. And then Simon Fontecchio, 21 points with 3 triples. Now, I'm going to tag the clip of Norman Powell's highlight tape from this 34 point game performance down in the description if you'd like to watch his highlight montage, as it's electric. It's awesome. Yes, it is FIBA level basketball. He's not performing against 12 or even 6 or 7 other professional basketball players, but he is playing against respectable talent to some degree, and he went out there and he did exactly what you were hoping to see, and that was flat out dominate and look like an NBA pro against guys who simply are not on the same level as him. So again, that is tagged down in the description. I can't play it for you guys because 1, it's too long, and 2, we don't want to deal with copyright on this channel. So again, if you'd like to go watch it, it's tagged down in the description. And overall, what a steal for this Miami Heat organization. We had this conversation when the trade officially broke. If you guys don't remember, this is what it looked like. The Heat received Norman Powell from the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers then received John Collins from the Utah Jazz. And the Jazz got Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 pick from the Clippers. Obviously, Anderson and Love both came from this Miami Heat organization. Love was quickly involved in conversations of a buyout so he could then go back to a competitive team that is going to be looking to compete for an NBA championship, so Kevin Love can ring chase in the end stages of his NBA career. Obviously, Kyle Anderson, more of a utility guy that can play really 1 through 5, depending on the schematic lineup that he is currently placed in and what all the different moving pieces that are moving around him. He can facilitate the basketball, he can handle the basketball, he can rebound well, he can defend, he can move his feet pretty damn well. By no means am I saying he's one of the most dominant players in the NBA, but he is a utility guy. He has great abilities on the basketball court with great size. So again, an overall good piece that the Jazz got, but whether or not he's actually going to be overwhelmingly productive, we will wait and see, and I would bet on he wouldn't be. But the idea is the same. Norman Powell ends up in a Miami Heat jersey. The Heat did not give up a whole lot of assets, including young assets. Actually, they didn't give up any young assets to go out and get someone in Norman Powell who has been doing this for a long, long time. Okay, he was drafted back in 2014 or 2015, I should say, and since then he's been a model of consistency. Yes, the early stages of his career, he wasn't the prolific scorer that we've become to known over the last 8 to 10 to 12 years during his career. Obviously, with the Clippers is where everyone really remembers because that is his last stage of his career. But before that, back when he was with Portland or even Toronto, he was a scoring threat. And that's exactly what Miami got, as we could expect anywhere from 15 to 25 points per game from Norman Powell this up-and-coming season, depending on how the workload really breaks down once the season officially starts. Yes, I understand that was a large gap in the sense of what we can end up expecting in a points per game basis from Norman Powell. But again, we have to see how this roster actually plays on the court amongst each other before we actually have a good concrete idea of what the scoring output is really going to look like. Now, it didn't end there. Norman did have the greatest performance with 34 points on 53% shooting, including a double clutching three-point shot in which he was fouled on that he made. He ended up going to the free throw line and making his extra shot, his free shot at that. And overall, it was just dominance. It just looked like he had answers for whatever defense he was looking at, whether it was coming off a screen and roll and the defender was not coming up on the screen. It was giving him enough room to really just come around that screen and pop and shoot off the dribble. He made a handful of shots off the dribble. He was able to attack the rim, whether he's finished with his left hand or with his right hand, finishing very, very strong around the basket, as well as knocking down the perimeter shots. Norman Powell looked like an absolute problem in this game, and obviously the points and the overall production did follow suit. Now for Jovic, not only did he go out there and he have 9 points, 5 boards, and knock down 2 of his three-point shots, but also look at this young man's physique. I don't know if he's working out for IBF certification or what's going on, but Jovic looks phenomenal, and this kid is putting on a lot of mass. Now this this stat sheet is from the game that we are referencing. 9 points. He ended up going 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the three-point line, added 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. We know the game Jovic plays, more of a utility guy, just like that Kyle Anderson role we just addressed, in the sense that he is dominantly a power forward. But we've seen him play the 3. We've seen him play the 5 as well as the 4. And at those positions, he's not afraid to, when he grabs a rebound, which he is getting better and better at using his size. But also, once he obtains that rebound, his ability to then handle the basketball, get it up the floor, and facilitate offense, and really drive right to the basket, and being a dominant force on the offensive end. Now on the FIBA level, not only is he looking absolutely jacked, but it looks like the basketball game is absolutely transforming and getting better and better by the year. Overall, this is exactly what this Miami Heat fan base and organization was hoping to see from a young man in Jovic, who continues to get better and better by the year. Someone that was involved in trade conversations for names like Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and many other big-name players. And despite that, the Miami Heat held on to him because they know what they have, and they want to see him transform on this Heat team and become a substantial piece to this Heat organization. And if he continues to look like this, and his basketball game continues to get better and better, oh Lord, is he going to be a problem. I already love the idea of this. I think it's going to be fantastic for this Heat organization, and it does not end there. The final name we are going to address is Simon Fontecchio. 21 points with 3 triples made. Obviously, he came over in that Duncan Robinson sign and trade to the Detroit Pistons. Fontecchio came back. He's about, 30, 31 years of age. He's been in the league for a handful of years, and he's gotten better and better. And again, more of a utility guy. Small forward, power forward, maintains good size, good defending ability, while also having a great three-point shot and really a good offensive arsenal. No, he's not as well-rounded, if you will, as some of the other names we've mentioned in the sense of utility guys, but Simon has the ability to go out there and really be a really good complementary piece to a good offense that we know is going to be present down in Miami because of the roster they currently have constructed. Something I find very interesting is that Simon's listed as the number 4 string power forward. I think that's going to change as soon as the season starts. I think he's going to be getting a lot more playing time than a 4 string on any team because of the abilities he maintains, the three-point shooting he maintains, as well as the size. Once it comes down to situational matchups where the Heat need size as well as perimeter shooting, look for Simon Fontecchio to be a substantial piece to this Miami Heat organization. Overall, exactly what this Heat team needed to see in, again, it's off-season play. It is FIBA basketball. It's not even NBA level ball. But again, it's what you need to see. You don't want to see these guys go out there and be half-assing it and going out there and shooting 5 of 20 or 5 of 15 from the field and producing 8 to 12 points against guys that really can't make the NBA league. This is exactly what this Heat team needed. I overall think the acquisition of Norman Powell is going to be transcendent. I think Jovic is in for a huge year, not only in the weight room, but on the basketball floor, as well as Fontecchio fitting in greatly with this Miami Heat organization. Let me know down below your overall thoughts and opinions on what we've broken down on this episode of Heat Digest, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching.